Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today I have some cards to share. This was the original card I made, and today I'm going to make two other cards. One that's similar with a different color scheme, and one that's a little bit different. So this is the set I'm using today. This is brand new from Maker Forte. It is called Sentimental Stems. Look at all these stems that have words on them, and you can create those to go with those flowers and lots of other sentiments as well. And this is the Sentimental Stems add-on. So you have plenty of other flowers in differing sizes as well to choose from. So I'm going to be using both of those today, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm also using some of my favorite colors. The Flamingo ink from Maker Forte is brand new also, and I'm going to be pairing it up with some stencils and some other colors from Maker Forte. So I'm going to start out with this stencil here. You can see the stencil is well loved. I did not clean it off from the last time I just used it. So I'm going over it with Hyde Park, and you can see that it does affect the color because I did not wipe it off. So here I'm trying to kind of clean it off without using water. That didn't work very well either. So I do suggest that you clean your stencils off if you want the ink colors to remain true. Here I used the Flamingo, but it turned it a little bit purple because it had that blue on there a little bit. So I'm going to run with it, and that's why this color scheme for that card is going to be purple today. And now I'm going to take this Argyle stencil. It's actually a 3-layer stencil that makes the most beautiful diamonds. I'm going to start with the bubblegum, which is the lightest of the pinks and so very pretty, but nice and subtle. You can see here it's very subtle. Then I'm going to add on the second layer and go in with some Flamingo ink, and that's going to add a little darker color to the center of those diamonds. And then I'll change out the layers, add the third layer to the top, lining them up, and I'm going to add the last color as Tiptree Jam, which is an even darker pink, almost kind of veering towards the red color. But since I'm using it with pinks, it looks like just a really hot pink. It's beautiful color. And look how beautiful this goes on, just nice and smooth. I love these inks. So there is our background. The light pink is a little bit hard to see in the video, but there's 3 different colors. It's so pretty. I'm going to stamp directly on top of this background using my flowers. I've chosen 3 flowers here, and one of them I'm going to save for just a minute. So I'm going to take off the rose and save that because I want to mask off one of them. I'm going to show you a really easy way to mask without cutting. And I love this trick because it's so much faster. And when you only need to mask a little bit, it works really great. So I'm going to double stamp this with my very favorite black ink. Of course, the Eclipse Black. I use this for all my Copic coloring, stamping. It's really, really great. It dries pretty quickly as well, so it's going to be perfect for this technique for coloring as well. I'm going to remove those 2, and you can see this one's going to overlap a little on that larger flower. And I don't want it to. I want it to look like it's behind that petal. So all I'm going to do is take a little bit of mint tape, and I'm going to tape over that petal so that it doesn't cause the ink to go over that. It will look like it's behind this flower. So watch this, stamping this here, gonna stamp it a couple of times so it's just as dark as those other 2 flowers, and maybe just a little bit more right there. And then I'm gonna take my tweezers and remove that tape, and you can see that it looks like it's now behind that flower. I've chosen to stamp the stem that says love on it 3 times, and I want this to look kind of like a bouquet of flowers. So I'm angling this one on the left a little bit to the center. I'll angle the one on the right a little bit to the center, and to change this out, I'm putting my acetate piece right here so that I don't accidentally get ink where I don't want it. And excuse my crazy hair today, it's going to get in the way a little bit. But you can see that that stem was going to stamp right over that part of the flower. So again, I'm just going to put a little mint tape right there. And it's perfect. It's not going to interfere with the other flower, so this worked out really great. So I'm going to remove that again And it's perfect. Now that petal looks like it's right in front of the stem. And here I'm going to place it again on my acetate piece and just pick this up with my Misty Door and stamp that one more time for the flower on the right. So the fun thing is you can now see that stenciled background on these flowers, but I'm going to add a little bit of coloring to make the flowers really pop. I'm just using some Prismacolor pencils, adding a little bit of lime green to that leaf, and now I'm going to add some dark red and then some lighter pink to blend that out, giving this flower a little more color, but trying not to really cover up that background because that's what really makes it beautiful, makes it colorful, has a design to it. I'm using my Gamsol kit once again here to blend these colors out. This kit comes with the Gamsol with that sponge top, also these blending stumps and the sandpaper that I showed you earlier, so you can sand off the ends if you want to use a different color. So I'll link that below if you're interested, but I've really been on a kick where I color with colored pencils and blend it out with this Gamsol. It's been really fun. So I'm going to do the same thing on all of the flowers, starting with the darker red, blending out with the pink, and then blending them all the way through with the Gamsol and the blending stump. This is so easy to do. It really is going to make these flowers pop off that background. I also have one more trick to show you for making this happen. And just to give it a little bit more darkness, I'm using a dark brown on the center parts. I'm going to blend that out as well. So here it is, all blended. And now I'm just going to take a light gray marker and outline all of those images. This is really going to make it pop as well. I realized on the video it's a little bit harder to see, but in real life this adds a shadow and makes those flowers stand out just a little bit more. Super fun and easy to do, really easy. So here's our first card panel. I'm just going to add that to a top folding card base that's 110 pound. But you can see how those flowers really stand out. And you didn't have to do any fussy cutting. For the second one, I'm going to stamp all the stems at once. And I chose 3 different ones. One is happiness, one says smile, and one says kindness. I'm going to stamp this quite a few times so that it really stands out from that background. And then I'm going to stamp 3 of the flowers that I chose. And I'm going to color these up with Copic markers. Just real simple, fast coloring. This one I'm going to do in purples because that background kind of turned a little purpley. I just used a scrap of Nina Solar White paper here. I don't want to waste any of that paper. It's good stuff. So I always like to use what I can, even if it's the smallest scrap. These 3 flowers fit perfectly on this piece, so that's what I ended up doing. So I'm just going to color it up, just all of the flowers the same way. I'm going to go through with these 3 colors of purple, then I'm going to go back in with the darkest 2 shades and make them a little bit darker. And the last thing is just to fussy cut all of these out. If you don't like fussy cutting, you can try the first card that I shared here. These are pretty simple to cut out though. I didn't have too much of an issue. Then I'm just going to pop these up with foam tape. The center one I'm popping up with 2 layers of foam tape, so it's even taller than the other 2. And then I'm going to put a mat of the Hyde Park colored cardstock behind this and really make the Hyde Park jump out. To finish off these cards, I'm going to add them to the card bases right now, and then I'm just going to finish them off with some gems. For this one, this purple one, I'm going to add some gold gems, and for the one on the right, I'm going to add some rah-rah skirt gems. That's a hot pink. And just finish off these cards. There you go, just adding those very, very easily with my magic wand here. And there you go, there's both of our cards. Here's the pink one where we didn't cut anything out, we just did it right over the background. And here's the one we fussy cut and popped them up with foam tape. Which one do you like better? I actually like them both. I like the color schemes too. Really fun. So see how you can just do them in different colors and different styles and get a different feeling as well. This is the first one, once again, that I did, and I made them in hot pink and much more vibrant of a pink on this one. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give me a thumbs up. It really does help out with YouTube. I enjoy your comments, and I love to have you come back again and again, so don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back real soon with more card making inspiration. Bye-bye.